Did you know you could crochet dish scrubbies to go with all your crochet dishcloths? Good morning, everybody. My name is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead, and here we are, busy as can be, getting ready for Christmas. And one of my favorite things to do is to give gift baskets with homemade gifts in them. And although I love cutesy little things, this year I focused on practical gifts such as dishcloths and scrubbies. Stick around to the end of this video and I will go over each of these gift baskets that I thrifted and added to. But first, let's talk all about crocheting. I typically make my dishcloths out of these small skeins of peaches and cream. I get these at my local Walmart. They are less than $2 each. And when I crochet up one of my dishcloths, it leaves me exactly enough to do a dish scrubber. That's one of the reasons I love these 2.5 ounce skeins. They're just small, but you get 2 projects out of every one. If you're interested in the pattern that I use for my dishcloths, I'm going to attach a link at the end of this video. Now, peaches and cream also comes in these huge skeins, and that's what I'm going to use today. It is a little bit less expensive. It's 14 ounces for less than $10. So that is another option. And with these, you can make an endless amount of them. Today, I'm going to stick with this light colored yarn because the lighter the color, the easier it is to see your stitches. So if you're a newbie or if you're doing a video like I am, try to stick with the lighter colors versus black or navy blue. That's really hard to see your work. The next thing you're going to want is scrubby yarn, and I ordered this one off of Amazon. It is a thin, scrubby, hard to use yarn, and so whenever I use this, I pair it up with my cotton yarn at the same time. For any color that I use my dishcloth that is not white, I pair it up with white sparkly. There are many different ways to do scrubbies. I have seen them using the real thick yarn. I've also seen them with this, and this is called Squeaky Clean Polyester, and it's a little bit different. You don't have that sparkle. You still have this string that goes along it, but you don't have as many pieces coming off of it, and I don't think it's as firm, so it's a little softer on your hands to use. When I'm using one of these that comes in all different colors, then I pair it up with 100% cotton yarn, just like this one. So that one makes a really nice combination as well. But today I'm going to focus on these two. I have my cotton, and then I have my polyester scrubby yarn. The hook I'm using is an H hook. It is also known as a size 8 or a 5.00 millimeter. To use these yarns, I'm going to use both of these at the exact same time. So I just line them up and then I put a slip knot onto my hook. So cross it over in the back and grab your hook and go under, over, and there's your slip knot. Just tighten it on up. Now this is a super easy pattern, but it can get difficult seeing those stitches because of all that fluff in the way. So we're going to go over it real slow. I leave this first loop a little bit bigger than I normally would, and you are going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. As I said, it can be a little tricky using this. There you go. It's kind of hard to see. I think when I do scrubbies, a lot of it is feeling for where the next stitch goes. What you're going to do now is double crochet into that last loop from where you were. So the last loop on that chain, and you're going to double crochet. Now my last video caused quite a stir on whether I am yarning over or yarning under. In fact, I had a lot of people tell me I was wrong. Let me tell you something about crocheting. Crocheting is all about choice. It is not a right or a wrong. You can yarn over, you can yarn under. You can do a magic circle, or you can do like I did and do a chain. It doesn't make it wrong if you're different. I tell my students the same thing because I'm a teacher, 4th graders, and so different is not wrong. This shows 12 double crochet in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now this scrubby will be two-sided. So I'm going to make 2 circles. They each take about 10 minutes. There's only 3 rows on each circle, all double crochet, super duper easy. And as I said, it takes a lot of wiggling around and feeling for where your hook needs to go. So you're going to put a slip stitch in that first space. That was the beginning of that chain. So just pull it through, there's your slip stitch. Now chain 2, 1 and 2. So what you have right now is 12 stitches going in a circle. You've chained 2. You are now going to put 2 double crochet in every single stitch. It gets a little tricky. You might have to feel around for it. This one looks smaller, but you can get it in there just like that. So 1, and the next one is 2. And that same loop that you just had that one in. There you go. All right, so you're going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around, giving you 24 stitches. Now, I'm not someone that uses markers to keep track of what I'm doing, so I literally will be counting. That was the slip stitch. I'm going to count each stitch going around. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to keep on going counting till I get to 24 over here. This is what 24 stitches, 2 in each one, looks like. Now you have this little gap here, so you're going to find that chain, feel around with your finger, and then do a slip stitch into the chain, and chain 2. And that will be for your next row. All right, row 2, 24 stitches. This next row is actually the last row. Told you it was super easy. And this one, you're going to put 1 stitch in the first one and 2 stitches in the next. 1, 2, 1, 2, going around 36 stitches. And it's going to have a slight curve. That's exactly what you want. All right, so if you look from above, you can see that's your first stitch. So put in 1 double crochet in that first one. And then go to the next stitch and put 2. Then repeat this pattern of 1 in the first stitch, 2 in the second, all the way around for a total of 36 stitches. This is what 36 stitches look like. You want to attach it in that first loop with a slip stitch. Now the difference here, I am going to cut. I don't need a lot of tail, just a little there. And then pull it through the loop. All right, some people just leave it like that. They have it pulled through. I always put a knot there. I am overkill, but you're going to be scrubbing with these things. It's not just something sitting on the back of your couch collecting dust. So anything like that, I try to put a knot in it as well. See my little knot right there? Don't worry about this because this will be on the inside. Nobody is going to see that knot. Now the last thing I do on this side, turn it over. These are the original tails that you had. They just don't need to be that long. Now you don't have to weave them in because they will be on the inside. So you at this point are halfway done. Make a duplicate just like this one. Just don't cut off the ends and I'll be right back with you. And here is my second one. Exactly the same as the first. Difference is I did not tie off the tail. You're going to need that to attach these two. Make sure that the second one you're attaching it to is facing out. So the inside of both of them are together. Now I don't line it up so that my first stitch is where I ended with that one. In fact, I think it's easier if you just find another location. So I just finished doing the 36 stitches going across. And I need to add 1 chain, just like that. All right, now we're going to start connecting them. Now what you do is you look for that first stitch. Can be a little complicated. Again, you do a lot of feeling. So there's the first one on that one. And then go anywhere and grab that. So it's really thick. and you are going to do 1 single crochet. To prevent your edge from curling, you still need to increase stitches. So this is your 1 single crochet. Now I'm going to go to the next space. I'm going to go through those 2 loops you need, and actually it's 4 loops because you have 2 different yarns. So you go through all of those. Now instead of putting 1 single crochet, I'm actually going to put 2. And that is the pattern that we will continue to do all the way around our scrunchie. So I don't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 until I get to the end. I simply count in 3s because I think it's too complicated, too easy to get lost. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to the next one. The next one is a 1 and it's always single. So 1, and then the next space I will put 2 and 3. And if anything is a little complicated, I think it's putting this edging on because it's thick and it's hard to see, and you just have to have a little faith and feel for those stitches. So continue that pattern, 1, 2, 1, 2, going all the way around. When you get to this last edging on the other one that you did, tuck it into the center and keep on going. All right, I'll meet you on the other side. I have gone around doing a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 single crochet all the way around, and this is where it seems to jump in size. Right now we're ending at about 5 inches. So the only thing left to do is to find that chain that we started with, and you're going to slip it in there and do a slip stitch, just like that. Now you have 2 options at this point. If you would like to have a hook that goes around, what I've done before is I've chained and then attached it again. And once I attached it, then I actually went back and did slip stitch in the chain to make it a little thicker. Honestly, I don't usually add the loop onto my scrubbies. Most people don't hang their scrubbies. So at this point, I'm just going to cut it off. And you know me, pull it through and put in a knot. And as far as weaving in ends, super simple. I take my hook and I go in between the 2 pieces. You don't want it coming out on the back. In between, and go up as close as you can get. There you go. Oh, I can get closer. Close as you can get to that ending tail. That's pretty good. And I'm going to grab it like that. All right. And then I'm going to pull it, snip it. All right, and the reason it went in there is because I pulled on that stitch. And there you go. There is your scrubby. And that was, let's see, 10 minutes each side, about 25-30 minutes to make one. And here's an example of one I made that has a double chain on it. So if you like to hang them up, this might be an option for you. For my dishcloths, I was able to find a free label. They call it a sleeve. It's on Pinterest, it's on Google. Just type in free label for crochet dishcloths and you will have many options. Unfortunately, the only ones I could find for dish scrubbies were all on Etsy and you had to buy them. So this one right here, I just took a pen and made a quick one. Now this is my favorite part of the video. I am going to show you different ways that you can present your dish scrubbies and your dishcloths for gifts. I love to make gift baskets, and every single one of these baskets started at the thrift store. I focus on the things that the person I'm giving it to are interested in. Now the only item this basket needs is in fact a scrubby, and I don't have one made yet. I started one in gray and that one will go in tonight. My next basket has both a red theme and a cooking theme. And it all started because I found this ceramic dish that had a recipe, Apple Brown Betty. And when I read it, I'm like, ooh, that sounds great. The basket, the dish, the towel in the back, all of those items came from my local Goodwill. And then I filled it in with the ingredients to make the recipe. And then I crocheted my dishcloth and, of course, a matching scrubby. But this one I am super proud of. Yesterday, when I ran into the Goodwill, I found this wire-framed Christmas tree. It was $1. Now, the center is meant for a candle, but you can find these glasses for about $1.25, and it fits like a glove. Next, I added 2 dishcloths and 2 scrubbies. I attached them to the side of the tree. I made this little chain, which I have a video on that as well if you search through my playlist. And lastly, I found this warm winter welcome. Now, these last 3 are a little bit smaller, and they're perfect to give to a coworker or a friend. Again, I found the container at the Goodwill, and actually this Meyer's soap was on clearance for $1.50 for the entire thing. So all in all, this is a relatively inexpensive gift to give to someone special. I love this one. I found this little soup crock, and it says enjoy. And then I focused on the color green, added a couple dishcloths, a scrubby, and the last thing I found at the Goodwill was a sign that said home. And the last one for today, this also is a container that I found at Goodwill. I love anything that's ceramic with a metal frame. And this one, again, we are going to add a dishcloth, a scrubby, and some soap. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you found something to encourage you, something to say, hey, you know what? I think I could make that too. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.